Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. Yoga is a gift we give our body and mind. We have a choice of how we approach and hold each posture. Today's practice is about creating space for the present moment. Find the gift in yourself. Let's get started. We're going to start on our backs. We're going to extend our legs, turn your palms up, and let's start by walking our shoulders away from the ears, letting your head rest gently on the floor. If your head doesn't reach the floor, please feel free to throw a blanket or pillow under the back of your head. And let's just close our eyes for a moment. Let your legs just be heavy and fall open. We're going to breathe in through the nose. Feel the belly rise, and then slowly let the breath out through the mouth. And then again, breathe in through the nose, and let the breath out through the nose this time. And again, another breath in through the nose, and out through the nose. Continue that pattern, focusing on your breath. It keeps us in the present moment. And I want you to think about, while your eyes are closed, that good old saying that yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift, and that is why we call it the present. That's what we're going to focus on today. Continue breathing in the present moment, checking in with the body on your mat, in the room that you're in. We're going to now transition to cleansing breaths. Let's breathe in through the nose and open the mouth and sigh it out. And I know we can do that better. Let's try it again. Inhale. Sighing, audible exhale. Let go of that tension. Inhale again. Exhale through the mouth. One more time. Now just feel your breath slow down. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose at a comfortable pace for you. Feel the shoulders relax a little more. If your mind starts to drift to the history of the past, focus on the breath to bring yourself back to the present moment. If your mind starts to drift to the worry of the future, again, bring the mind and the focus back to the breath. And then we're going to wiggle our fingers and our toes. And let's reach the arms overhead, pull the feet together, rotating the toes to the sky, reach those arms overhead. Take a nice deep breath in and let's sigh it out the mouth. And then go ahead and bend the knees. Bring the arms next to the body. You can have your palms down. Walk both feet in, about hip distance apart. Maybe reach your fingertips towards your heels. Let's take a breath in and lift the hips to a bridge. And you want to lengthen through the spine. Feel that nice control through the core. Check in with your legs. Are your knees falling open? Line them up with the hips. Just breathe here, check in, feel the toes and the heels on the floor. And then slowly lower those hips all the way back down. Bring your arms out to the side. You can have them as a T, or you can bring them out like cactus arms. The feet are still about hip distance apart. Let's drop both knees to your right. And go ahead and turn your head to the left. And again, focusing on that stretch and the breath. As you feel the weight of your knees falling to the right, notice what's going on in the hips and the torso, up through the belly, maybe through the chest. Maybe your arms are out. Maybe try bending the elbows and see if there's any tightness going on in the chest or the shoulders. Then we're going to bring the head back to neutral. Lift one leg at a time, back to center. Realign the spine. And then go ahead and drop both knees to your left. And just notice the difference. Go ahead and turn your head to the right. And check in now with your right hip, right torso. One more breath. And then we're going to bring our head back to neutral. Bring the knees back up to center. Realign the spine. This time we're going to take the right ankle across the left thigh. Press that knee open. And then slowly press up to a single leg bridge. And breathe. Notice what's going on again in that right hip, the chest, and then slowly lower those hips. Uncross the right. Let's take it to the left. Cross that left ankle over the right thigh. Lift to a bridge. And just breathe here. And I'm asking you to tune into the hips because I want you to notice what side might be a little more tense. And then slowly lower those hips back down. Uncross the legs. Let's try that full body stretch. Just like you're waking up. Reach, reach, reach. Point those toes, reach those fingers. Take a breath in again. And then let it out. And bring those knees back in, feet on the floor. Push the fingertips towards your ankles. Now we're going to rise to a bridge again. We're going to change it up just a little. Lengthen through the spine, reach the arms overhead, and then gently just lean toward your left shoulder, reaching your right arm just a little more to your left. So you get a little bit of a twist. You might feel more weight in the right foot. And breathe in, and then slowly rotate the upper body back to center. Twist slightly onto your right shoulder, reaching that left arm over to the right. And notice the shift. Now, is your weight more balanced? Is one leg, maybe the left, more weight in it? What does it feel like different from the other side? And then come back to center. With the upper body, lowering those hips to the floor. Let's hug the knees into the chest and give it a rock side to side. And breathe. Hug those knees. Now you're going to hold on to the knees. We're going to roll ourselves up, or you can roll to the side. So we're just going to come all the way up. We're going to straighten out our legs. Find a nice tall staff pose, Dandasana. Pull those glutes out, find those sits bones. Couple shoulder rolls, shake out those legs, flex those feet. We're going to inhale, reach the arms overhead. I want you to exhale, forward fold, lean to the toes. Now we're going to warm up a little more here, lengthening through the hamstring. Inhale the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, fold again. Shake out those legs. Inhale, lift. Lengthen through the arms, exhale, fold. Again, inhale, lift, and then exhale, fold. Now just hold it here. Notice the belly pulling towards the thighs. Soften your shoulders and your elbows, let your head hang heavy. The weight of your head is assisting you. Make any adjustments that you need to. Notice how the back of the legs are starting to maybe relax a little with each breath. Some of the tension is going away. Maybe it's not as challenging to lean forward. The body's relaxing a little more. One more breath. Now I want you to place your hands on your ankles or your thighs or shins and walk the body up nice and tall. Let's pull that right leg in. Place that right foot across the left thigh. Wrap your left arm around that right knee. Sit up as tall as you can and then reach your right hand back as a kickstand behind you and twist and look over that right shoulder. And again, as you breathe, feel the belly pressing into your thigh. Feel that right glute stretching out, that right butt cheek, that right hip. And you're not forcing it, you're just enjoying that stretch. Let's flex that left ankle. Continue that breath, being in the present moment. Inhale and then exhale. On your next exhale, let go of the knee, twist the opposite way. Let's counter stretch. Bring it in. The left arm is behind the back. Maybe you bend your elbow and you place that elbow on the inside of the right knee and lift tall. It's loosening up the upper back. And then very slowly release. Release that leg, shake them out. Let's do a test fold. So pull those glutes out in case we moved around a little. Take a deep breath. Inhale, reach the arms, flex the feet. Exhale, forward fold. Notice, did you go further this time? Maybe one leg feels looser than the other, the hip. You're going to place your hands on your shins or your ankles and you're going to walk it up. Let's pull that left leg across the right thigh. Hug that left knee with the right arm. Left arm behind you as a kickstand and lift and twist. Look behind you with your head twisting over that, looking over that left shoulder. Tall, and you're breathing. Think about that belly pushing into the thigh. Enjoy that stretch, that glute stretching out. As we get ready to move on, we're going to counter stretch, so twist the opposite way. Slide the elbow inside, twisting to the right. We've got some fun postures today to keep us in the present moment as we work on our gift of yoga for our bodies. And then we're going to come back to center. Go ahead and release those legs. Take a deep breath in. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Ta-da! I bet you went a little further. And just enjoy it. Little rock side to side. Just lengthening through the hamstrings. And a little bit of the calf muscles. The back, the shoulders. Let your head hang heavy. It's going to feel a little different. You might feel it down towards the toes when you let your head hang heavy because those nerves run down the neck and the back through the hips all the way to the toes. So when we bend the neck and get that head forward fold, that changes things. One more breath. And then place your hands on your thighs. Go ahead and walk it up. We're going to transition to tabletop. So go ahead and bring those feet behind. Find a nice, stable, strong tabletop. Knees on the floor, hands under the shoulders, cat-cow. Let's arch the back, round through the back. Exhale, push through the tops of the feet. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, scared cat, push. Inhale, arch. Pull those shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, round. Inhale, open and lift. And exhale, round. Inhale, open. And then exhale, round. And then find your stable, neutral spine. You're going to stay on your right hand and right knee. I want you to take your left foot and just place it out to the side. Straighten it straight out to the side. And then open up that left arm way overhead. Now check in with your hips. Are they sticking back? Maybe slide them forward just slightly so you can really open up. Feel the arm pulling back. Notice what's going on in that left shoulder, the right. Wave, give me a wave. Let me see your hello. Stretching it all out, another breath. And then exhale all the way back down. Notice the feeling in the shoulders when you come down. Maybe a little release, a little hydration, that whoosh I call it. Cat-cow again. This time arch the back, lift the head. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, round. Last one. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, round. Neutral spine. Now we're going to do the other side. So you're going to take your right leg out to the side. Take your right arm up. We're switching sides. Open, open, open. Now as your arm comes up, maybe you look up at it. Notice, is it down by your hip? Maybe you can lengthen it. Feel the fingertips pulling backwards. Open up. And check in with your hips. Are they back? Can you slide them forward a little more? As long as it doesn't cause any cramping or not good sensations in the back. Another breath. Feel that open up. And then exhale all the way back to the floor. Back to your tabletop. Good. Line everything back up. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Extend your left hand right from your shoulder, right leg back, extended tabletop. Flex the right foot. Drop your right hip so the hip and our hips are level. And just breathe here. So we're really warming up the core. Look down at your right thumb on the floor. And then bring your left hand to the floor and the right knee. Extend the right hand. Left leg, level out the hips. And here we are breathing again. Now I want you to feel the belly pulling into the spine. We want to really lengthen, flex that left foot. Notice what's going on. And then bring the hand and the knee back to the floor. Go ahead and tuck your toes under, walk your hands slightly forward. Let's find our downward facing dog. Lifting up those hips. Go ahead and walk your dog, pedal out your feet, shift your hips. Enjoy. Notice what's going on in the hamstrings, the calves. Good. Melt your left foot to the floor. Lift your right leg up. Three-legged dog. Bend the knee and circle that leg. Reverse direction. And then place that foot on the floor. And then switch sides. Right foot down, left leg up. Bend the knee, circle it around. Circle, circle. And then change direction. And then bring both feet back to the floor. Find your downward facing dog. And then we're going to go up on the toes and back into the heels. And then we're going to walk our feet forward to a forward fold. And just hang out here. Maybe reach for the floor. Maybe hold your elbows. Check in with your toes. Make sure they're facing the front of the mat. And then inhale, half lift, lengthen. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Flatten out the back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. And inhale and rise all the way up, slight back bend. Exhale, palms to heart space. And then open to your mountain, Tadasana. Walk your shoulders away from the ears. Lengthen through the neck. You got this, and open it up. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale, the palms behind the back. Interlace those fingers. Let's stretch out through the chest and lengthen. Check in with your neck. That's not lit forward like a turkey neck. Pull it in. Ground into the earth. Again, thinking about where you are on your mat. Check in with the toes. How far forward are you? Take a breath in. Let's exhale out of forward fold. Chest expansion. Lifting those arms up. Let the head hang heavy. Notice again the shoulders, the chest. And then slowly rise all the way back up. When you come to the top, go ahead and release those fingertips. Back to front, interlace, drop the chin to the chest. Pushing those fingers forward. Inhale, lift those arms. Slight back bend, and then come back to neutral. Lean to your right, stretching the hip to the left and the left armpit. Inhale to the sky. Exhale to the other side. So you're pushing your hips to the right as you lean to the left. And then all the way back up. Inhale. Exhale, both hands all the way back down to mountain. Open up that chest. Breathe in. And as you exhale, feel the shoulders relax. Moving on to warrior one. Take the right foot back. Stepping it way back. Lifting those arms. Uttanasana one. Warrior one. Open up that right back hip. Check in with it. Maybe you interlace your fingers. Maybe you don't. Maybe you have shoulder issues and you want to keep your hands here. It's about staying in the present moment, and the gift is yoga on the body, is you get to choose your variation to what works for your body. You don't want to ever feel this in your low back, so make adjustments with your hips. If you're feeling any compression or discomfort in that low back, then adjust the hips. Maybe don't go as far forward with the legs. Maybe some of you want to go further forward. Again, variations mean you can take it a little deeper or you can back off. One more breath, bringing the palms to heart space. Take a big step forward. Find your mountain. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Take a half lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Extend the hands together at heart space. Left foot back. Warrior one. Drawing those arms up. Lengthening through the left hip now. Option, hands here. Think about the thumbs pulling backwards, or you can even interlace those fingers, pressing the biceps into the ears. It can be a goal, right? If it's not there. Think about pressing the outer back edge of that left foot into the floor, pushing that left hip forward, checking in. Is one side tighter than the other? And you might even notice, in yourself, I can definitely tell my left side I don't go as deep. But that's okay. This is my variation. And then exhale, palms to heart space. Big step forward. Find your mountain. We're slowly opening up the front of the body. Bring the fingertips behind the back. Open up that chest, interlace. Option adding at forward fold again. Chest expansion. Notice if you go a little further this time. Maybe it feels a little easier. Shake out the head. Go ahead and release the fingertips to the floor. Bend the knees. Let's step back to our plank. Find that solid, solid body. Option is to be on your knees and be solid here. That is fine. Whatever works for you. Feet about hip distance apart. Shoulders and wrist in alignment. Let's slowly start to lower our body. Elbows come into the rib cage. Slowly, slowly. Control it till your belly gets to the floor. Good. Bring your hands just slightly forward so your elbows are next to your rib cage, and lift to a baby cobra, super small cobra. And I just want you to feel what's going on in that low back. Lengthen through the neck and the chest. Let your head go side to side. And then exhale. Good. I want you to bend both knees and bring the feet up. Start to lift again. You won't go as high. Barely lifting. Notice the difference. Your arms have to work a little harder. Your back probably doesn't want you to go as high, and that's quite all right because we're lengthening through the hip flexors and the quads. And then lower back down, lower the legs and the upper body. Bring the hands next to the rib cage. Good. Walk the feet in, maybe a little closer, rock on the hips. We're working our way to upward facing dog. So take a deep breath in. Lengthen, lengthen, open, open, lift, lift. Exhale at the top. Now you can be supported on your thighs. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, lengthen. or you can be unsupported by pushing into the tops of the feet. If this is too much for your back, stay low in that little, or you can do a lower cobra. But open it up, breathe through it. Good, lower the knees to the floor, tuck the toes. Let's take a child's pose. Separate your knees, feet together, slide it back. Stretch out that low back. Rock it side to side gently. If any time during our practice you need to go here, feel free. Let's transition back to our downward facing dog. So lift it up. And walk out those feet. Notice, remember how we said that yesterday is history? Well, guess what? So is the beginning of our yoga practice. It was history. We're in the present moment now. The mystery is the rest of this yoga class, right? For you it is. I know what we're doing. It's a surprise for you. So right now we're just going to work on the present moment. But notice how much further along your body feels like flexibility and warmth-wise. Let's take a walk to the front of our mats. The beginning of this day is history. Take an inhale, half lift, lengthen, flatten that back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, palms to heart space. Let's take a big step back. I'm going to go with my left foot. Warrior two. Open up that chest. Let's just do a little bend and straighten. Lengthening, checking in with that inner thigh. Reach those fingers out, melt into your warrior two. Vidrasana two. Check in with that right knee. Is it over the ankle? You should be able to see your big toe. Not dropping into the left, but open it up. Let's relax our shoulders and lengthen. Now we talked about the past, present, and future. So check in, look down at your shoulders, and make sure they're over the hips. So if you're back here, you're stuck in the past. No, if you're here, you're way too far in the future. Let's come back to our mat in the room, present moment, shoulders over hips. Just a fun way to remember your posture and your alignment. Looking over it. Good. Let's flip our right palm up. Start to reach forward to the future. Good. Bring the left hand to the thigh. Lift and extend towards the back, towards the past, just slightly, but we're still in the present. Maybe looking up at your hands. We have the gift of this moment, the present. Breathing in, breathing out. Good, back to warrior two. Straighten out that front right leg. Let's do a little shift with the hips. Left hip, shift it back. Reach forward with that right hand. Turn your thumb up. Slide it on the inside of the leg and open to triangle. Now option, you can reach to the floor. Check in with that arm. Open it up, just like we did at the beginning in our tabletop. You can look at your hand. You can look at the floor. And again, try to pull your left shoulder back. The hand will follow. Continue breathing, opening things up. One more breath. Let's take the hands to the floor. Windmill it down. Pivot off the back foot. Step back to plank. Deep breath in. Slowly lower. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Use those arms. Good. Inhale. Let's find our upward facing dog again. It's a little easier this time. You can be supported or unsupported. It's up to you. Another breath here. We're going to take a child's pose. So knees apart, feet together. Slide your hips back. We're going to pause here for 2 nice long breaths. Excellent. And then we're going to come up, tuck your toes, and we're going to slide into our downward facing dog again. Pedal out those feet. Lengthen and rise and fall on those toes. And then you're going to walk your feet forward towards the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Slight back bend. Exhale, palms to heart space. Let's find our mountain again. Relax those shoulders. Shall we try our chest expansion one more time? Why not? Press those palms together, open up the chest. This time before you go forward fold, take your head and turn to the right. Look over the right shoulder, gently pull those arms down, feel the left. Slowly bring your head through the center to the other side, gently pulling down on the right shoulder. Back to center, deep breath in. Let's exhale and add that forward fold. Just notice the difference. One more breath. Soften the knees as you rise all the way back up. Slowly release. Rotate the arms all the way up. Inhale, exhale, palms to heart space. We're going to step back with our right foot and find our warrior two. So I'm going to show you the opposite side. Here we go. Relax into those shoulders. You're going to do a little bend and straighten in that front knee. Find that alignment. Relax those shoulders. Now check in with your left knee. Make sure you can see your left big toe. Shoulders relaxed and looking over those left fingertips. Nice. If you need to wiggle the toes to go further, or maybe bring the legs closer together if it bothers your hips. Either way, your variation. Now remember we talked about the past and the future and the present. So check your shoulders. Make sure they are over your hips. And breathe. Let's flip the left palm up. Reach forward towards the future. Bring your right hand to the thigh. Lift towards the past. But breathe right here in the present. Looking up or down, whatever works for you, or straight ahead. One more breath, and then we come back to our warrior two. Let's straighten out that left leg and do a few hip shifts. So I call it the attitude. So hip, right hip back, reach that left arm forward. Let's flip the thumb up and then slide it on the inside of the shin or the thigh and lean into your triangle. Now that top right arm is reaching to the sky. Let's bring that right shoulder back and the arm and hand will follow. Notice the difference on this side. What is going on compared to the other side? Maybe it's a little surprise for the present moment, like, whoa, I didn't know that that was going on in my part of the body. Maybe it's a hamstring, maybe it's the back or the shoulder, maybe it feels fantastic. So embrace the gift of where you are. We got one more breath here. Take that top right arm, bring it to the floor. Excellent. Now let's step back to plank. Find that strength. Slowly lowering. Chaturanga, very, very slowly. Shall we find our upward facing dog? Notice it again. Now we're going to switch to downward facing dog. Stretch it out. If you need to take a child's pose, this is an option. Feel free. Otherwise, you can be in downward facing dog as well and pedal out those feet. Walk your dog. Shift those hips. Now that we're nice and stretched out, we're going to go a little deeper. Let's take our right leg up, three-legged dog, and let's bring that knee and that foot between the hands. Keeping the back toe on the floor, keeping the heel off. Press through your front heel, find your crescent lunge. Lifting up, find your balance. And I want you to really focus on that left hip flexor. Try to do a small little straighten and bend of your back knee. As you bend it, then straighten, push through the heel, bend and straighten. Maybe draw your thumbs towards the back wall or towards your back. A little bend and straighten. Excellent. We're going to slowly rotate the hands to the floor. Lower your left knee to the floor and push through, untuck your toe, push through the top of your foot, of that left foot. Walk yourself up onto your right thigh. Check in with your right knee. If it's over your ankle, let's say you come up and you're here. This is called not good for the knee. It's going to be mad at you. So inch those feet forward. So when you hinge those hips forward, the knee is over the ankle. I will always remind you of that. And again, when your hands are on the thighs, we never push on the kneecap. It can move and you can, yeah, we don't want to just go there. Let's keep the hands off the knees. Push again, the top of your back foot. Option to reach the arms overhead. Let's grab hold of the left wrist. If you're here, you can, and lean to the right, pulling that whole left side of the body open. Now start to extend not only to the right, but upward and backward, just slightly. Feel the stretch through the hip all the way through the armpit. Then release the hand. Place your right forearm on the right thigh. Reach your left arm behind you. Really, really stretch it. Reach as far as you can. Now, as you're reaching, hinge your hips forward and lean forward slightly with the upper body. And then bring both hands to the floor. Excellent. Untuck that back toe and bring it back to a plank. Find your strength. Deep breath in. Now, option here. You can go straight to downward facing dog, or you can do your flow. You can do a chaturanga lowering. You can do an upward facing dog, then downward facing dog. Or you could have just gone to a down dog or even a child's pose. This is your gift as well. You get to choose. Again, I will always remind you in yoga, your practice, your choice. Let's take the left leg up. Three-legged dog. Bend the knee. Bring the foot between the hands. Press into that front foot to use your strength, use your core. Pressing all the way up to crescent. Notice the difference. That right leg is back. Notice, are you wobbly? Do you lean more to one side? Let's find that small, gentle bend and straighten to that back leg. Bend and straighten. Notice that right hip. Notice your knee, your quadricep down by the knee, which is the front of the thigh. Maybe the quad up by the top of the thigh. Where is it tight? If there's an issue there, then that's a foam rolling issue. You need to foam roll. Just saying. And then hold, lengthen. Bring the hands to the floor. Go ahead and lower that right knee to the floor. Untuck your toes. Push into the top of your right foot as you come up. So there's less pressure on that right knee. Check in with those front toes. Maybe you need to inch them forward as you hinge your hips forward. And stay strong. Breathe. Relax your shoulders. Option, maybe you lift the hands. Really stretch things out. We're going to hold on to the right wrist. Gently pull to the left. As you're breathing, continue to breathe. Pushing into the back of that top right foot. Slightly lean upwards and backwards now. We're going to release the hand. Bring the left forearm to the left thigh. Reach the right arm back. Twist to the right. Lean, hinge those hips forward a little more. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Feel that left arm stretching back. And then both hands to the floor. Tuck your back toe under, step back to plank. Notice what you feel in the hips when you step back. Again, a little whoosh. Hydration, nutrients for the hip joint. Chaturanga, lowering down. Feel free to go right to your downward facing dog if that's your preference. Upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. Pedal out those feet. Oh, feels so good. Yes. We're gonna shift back to our plank, nice and strong, and you're slowly gonna lower to chaturanga, lowering to the belly. All the way. Go ahead and bring your right hand across the front of the mat. Bring your chin to your right hand. You're going to bend your left knee and reach for your left foot. Use a strap or a towel or a belt to grab hold of that foot if you can't reach it. And just breathe. Now we're going to press into the hand and lift the upper body. And then I want you to start to kick your foot into your hand. Half bow. The gift, we're doing make some bows today to go on our gift. Open it up. Feel the stretch of the shoulder. Lower down the knee. I want you to bring your hand on the inside of the foot and then just press the foot into the hand again. Little different stretch, more through the shoulder or the chest. Push into the front arm on the floor to lift that upper body. Find your breath. And then lower all the way back down. Go ahead and let go of your left foot to bring your left hand in front. We're switching sides. You can have your chin on your hand. Reach back for your right foot. Take your time. Make adjustments if you're back. If you need a child's pose in between, feel free. You can always take that into account, like what's going on with your back. Maybe this is plenty, just holding the foot to the glute. Or option, variation, press into the arm. Press your foot into your hand as you lift and extend to the right side. And breathe. Make sure you're not extending or arching the back of the neck. Look down at your thumb on the floor to just think about the length. Think of your crown extending straight out, diagonally in front. Now you're going to switch your hand, relax that right leg, bring your hand on the inside of the foot, and then kick your foot gently into the hand. Again, extending through the chest wall. Breathing. Be mindful of the low back. Slowly lower. Release. Excellent. Bring your hands next to your chest. We're going to take a brief child's pose just to make sure we stretch out that low back before we go into full bow. Stretch it out. Use those palms to push your hips towards your heels. Spread out the fingers and push your armpits now towards the floor. Maybe your head goes to the floor. And then slowly release. We're going to slide all the way back onto our bellies. This is the fun part we've been working to. All right, so we're going to bend the left leg. And maybe you just do one at a time again. That is fine. And then you're going to bend the right. Draw those knees somewhat together. Now, before you go into full bow, I want you to think about the belly. Contracting it, pulling it in, but breathing at the same time so we protect the low back. Lengthen and open the chest first. Lift the upper body, lengthen, look out in front of you, then start to press your feet into your hands and open yourself up to bow. Now you have options of variations. You can also do a side bow. So you can roll to one side. Option, head on the floor, pull those knees together. You can come back to center, and you can also go to the other side. And sometimes it takes practice. When I first did it, there was no way I could go into a side bow. But with practice, otherwise you're just staying here in your bow and you're breathing. One more breath. Pull those knees in and then slowly lower the knees and the head to the floor. Turn to your right ear. Let your arms rest next to your body. Take a breath in and a breath out. Let your head twist and turn towards the left ear, stretching out the neck. Take a deep breath in. Slowly let it out. Bring your hands next to your chest. The rib cage pressing gently up. Find your child's pose. Separate your knees, feet together, and slide those hips back. Use your palms again to draw your hips towards your heels. And just think, the bow is now history. You did it. You're done with it. You can always go back and practice it, but we're going to move forward, coming up out of our child's pose. Go ahead and have a seat, and you're going to sit with your legs straight ahead, out in front of you. Let's find our sits bones, pull those glutes out, flex those feet. We're not done yet. Still got more fun things. Inhale the arms up. Let's find our forward fold again. Reach it. Shake out those knees. Notice the difference in your upper back. Maybe it feels so much looser. Maybe you have some mobility. Make adjustments, find variations. You can always reach for the outside of the feet. Maybe your hands just reach to the shins or behind the knees. That is totally fine. Again, there's so many variations of every posture. The goal is to enjoy and feel good. Anybody notice that they get closer to their head to the knees when you're towards this part? We worked through it. All right, let's walk our hands up the thighs. All right, a couple options here. So like the beginning, we did the leg cross, so you can do this again. If you would like to go a little deeper, you can bend your left leg towards your right glute. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. So this is an option, and you can always keep this left leg straight if that feels better for you. We're gonna hug that right knee into the chest. Push your right foot into the floor. Option is to reach your right hand back. Nice twist. Lengthen through the neck and look as far back behind you to the right. Now some of you might want to bind. Bonus gift, a bind. You can bring your hand, your tricep, left tricep over the right thigh. You can be here. You can take your left hand underneath, reach behind, grab the hands behind the back. Optional. And just breathe here. If that's not in your practice, maybe you just practice here. That's okay. Maybe you're just holding here. And you can always have goals to work towards. I did have someone taking my class, and she wanted this bind so bad. It took her 6 months, but she practiced every single day and eventually got it. And maybe if you have a shoulder injury, it may never happen. Who knows? Let's counter stretch, turn the other way. Again, just picking out fun things for your goals to practice. And then come back to center. Shall we try the other side? Let's try it. All right, so if you're straight-legged, you're just gonna cross the left leg over. Otherwise, you're gonna cross that right leg under, so the right foot is by the left butt cheek, and you're gonna hold on to that left knee. Reach the left hand behind you, lift and twist. Now, one side might be way tighter than the other, so maybe just work a little more on the tight side just so you can help balance things out. Option 2, I always have to push my arm under. It doesn't kind of go by itself. And then I grab my left hand behind the back there and breathe. You can also use a yoga strap. That is helpful to wrap it around, something to hold on to. Again, never forcing it. Took me a long time to get here, and there's some postures I still can't do, and that's okay. I do what my body can, just like you can do what your body can. We're going to release the bind or the knee, and we're going to counter stretch. Go ahead and twist to your right. Lengthen through the neck and the spine. Look behind you. And then come back to center. Go ahead and unwind both legs. All right, scoot a little bit to the front of your mat. Let's find our boat. Holding onto the back of the thighs. Now you're nice and warm. Relax those shoulders. Now your boat can be on the floor. It can be holding on. It can be letting go. It can be off the floor. Relax those shoulders. So in the present moment, we're going to paddle our boat. Paddle, paddle. And let's have some fun today because we're enjoying the gift of yoga. We're going to row our boat and paddle at the same time because, we can do that. Just working those core muscles, warming things up. Then we're going to pause and float and extend. Find your sailboat. Relax the shoulders. Bend those knees. Pull the belly in a little closer to those thighs. Option is to grab your left toe. Extend it up. Option 2, grab your right toe. Extend them both up. Bring them together. Lengthen. Try again wide. Let's bend the knees. Bring the bottoms of the feet together. And then lower them to the floor. Lean forward to butterfly. And flap those knees. And then slowly hug the knees into the chest. Lay all the way on the back. And then go and release the feet. This is one of my favorite ones. Next, what we're going to do. So on your back, I want you to walk your feet as wide as your mat. And then take your right foot and walk it even further back. Almost where you can grab the ankle. If you can't grab it, don't worry about it. But pretty far out to the right side there. And then you're going to start to drop both knees to your left and maybe grab onto the right knee and pull it up slightly towards your chest, but keep your left foot on the floor and drop both knees to your left. So you're really stretching the front of your right quad and right hip flexor. Just breathe here. This is a really good one if you have those tight hips, tight quads, if you sit in a chair a lot, even if you're a runner or cyclist, one of my favorite stretches. Then you're going to take your right hand, if you'd like, and reach it over your head. You're really going to extend and improve and challenge that stretch. You might feel it, notice, all the way up in the belly, in the obliques, because it's all connected way up, deep under there. The psoas, the hip flexors. I won't get too deep into what muscles all go up in there. That's a whole nother class. I know some of you are going, thank you for not going there. Slowly bring your right arm down, back by your foot, let go of your left knee, slowly bring your knees up, walking your feet together. Center your spine, and then let's hug the knees into the chest and give it a rock side to side. You might feel notice your right foot or your left. Does one foot feel cooler to the other? Maybe you're getting a little extra blood flow to the feet because we lengthened through that whole area. Bringing the feet back to the floor, walk the feet nice and wide. And now you're going to walk your left foot outside of your mat and maybe reach for it. If you don't reach it, don't worry about it. I just want it out a little bit further, and you're going to drop both knees to your right. So maybe it's just out here a little further. The key is to get that hip stretching out. And then reach for that right knee. And just breathe. And this is where, again, notice the difference on this side. Maybe your left quad and hip is looser than your right. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's tighter. You might feel a little arch in the back, as long as it's not too arched. If you feel the back, then change the bend of your knee and bring your foot further towards the end of your mat, not as close to your body. Continue that breathing. Option to lift your left arm overhead to get a little more into that stretch. You're going to feel a little more up into the rib cage. And breathe. Even getting a little into that whole TFL, the hip rotator that wraps over that front hip bone. One more breath. You want this to feel good. And then we'll bring our left arm down by your heel. Release the right knee. Bring the knees in. Good. And let's hug the knees into the chest and give them a rock side to side. Let's put the feet on the floor. Walk them in about hip distance. Reach for the heels. Let's find our bridge. Lengthen and lift those hips. Wow, what a difference from the beginning of class, right? Present moment, we're back on the mat, down in our bridge, slowly lowering those hips. We feel so good. Go ahead and extend the arms and legs, full body stretch. Point those toes. Maybe interlace the fingers. Maybe just hook the thumbs. Stretch it out. Deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Go ahead and bring the arms next to the body. Let your legs fall open. Walk your shoulders away from your ears. Palms are up. If you're comfortable, we're going to close our eyes again. Take a deep breath in and remember, the past is history. The future is a mystery. So that's why we focus on the gift of the present moment. Notice your body on the mat in the room from when you started here to where you are now. Improving as we go, staying in the present moment with our gift of yoga. Go ahead and start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. You're going to start to transition and ready for whatever is next. Go ahead and turn to one side. You can hug the knees. You can slowly start to press yourself up to an easy seat to Sukhasana. Crossing the legs, lift up. Let your head move gently side to side. Let your palms rest on your thighs. And then bring your head to center, draw your chin to your chest. And then bring it to neutral. You are a gift to me. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.